Hello Scentatics, welcome to Fragrance Therapy. I'm your host Alam, and if you love affordable fragrance content with 100% unbiased takes, please hit that subscribe button. Doesn't cost you a thing, but really does help the channel grow. Today I'm going to give you a top 5 of some of the most recent releases from the houses of French Avenue and Armaf. I'll be sure to do a much more comprehensive list of these houses at the end of the year that will cover the releases from much earlier in the year as well as the ones that are sure to come out in the next few months. But without further ado, let's dive in. I'm going to start off with an honorable mention, that's Odyssey Revolution by Armaf. Now, the reason that this is an honorable mention and not in the main list is that it's a bit of a stretch to call this a recent release. I got this quite a bit earlier than the rest of the releases that I'm going to go over, but it's still a banger, especially in the upcoming months. This is not a clone of any one fragrance. It's a bit of Ultramol, it's a bit of Creed Aventus, and it has like a touch of Dumont Nitro Red. This is fruity, sweet, woody, herbal, highly addictive stuff. If you don't already have this, get it into your collection. At the number 5 spot, we have French Avenue's Chaos Extrait. This is a clone of Maison Crivelli's Cuir Infrarouge. Now, if you saw my last video, you know that I thought I was getting a clone of Cuir Infrarouge with Lattafa's King of Arabia, but it turned out not to be the case. Luckily, I had this one arriving right after. This is a soft and supple leather blended with these juicy fruits. I love leather fragrances. The contrast between like this sweet, juicy red fruits and this deep, earthy yet smooth leather, along with creamy vanilla, is pretty striking. Looking at the notes, you have cherry, red fruits on top. In the mid, you have iris. In the base, you have vanilla, moss, and leather. The rich, warm, and sensual notes make this an easy wear for the fall and winter time, so it's going to be a major part of the rotation this upcoming month. This is also an extrait de parfum, but the scent profile doesn't lend it to monster performance. This will give you a solid 7 hours on skin, but strong projection for that first hour. This is also 100% a unisex fragrance, might even lean a bit femme, especially if you consider cherry like a feminine note. As my nose has developed, I have become more open to cherry notes. I've actually started liking it, especially when it's blended with these deeper, darker notes, in this case leather. I'm interested in getting a full wear and see how I do with it. I've also been trying to get hold of Atlantis in this Extrait line, which is a Wavechild clone, but no luck so far, hopefully soon. At the number 4 spot, I have French Avenue's Royal Blend Sequoia. And this is a clone of Angel Share Parody by Kilian. This thing is warm, it's sensual, it's addictive. It's like a boozy, fruity gourmand combined with like rich, woody base. And I love this DNA. And the main thing this does, it takes that familiar Angel Share DNA, but it adds this sweet tart raspberry. That small change is surprisingly dynamic. But let's go over the notes. On top you have raspberry, cognac, liqueur. In the mid you get rose and moss. And in the base you get oak, sandalwood, and praline. With its warm, spicy, and sweet scent profile, this fragrance is a perfect choice for the fall and winter. This will give you a solid 7+ hours on skin with good projection up front. Angel Share DNA has never been a beast mode projector, but this one is solid in the first hour. Now I also have 2 other clones of Angel Share Parody. I have Lattafa's Fire and Ice and Rayhan's Valhalla. There are subtle differences between the 3, and I'm going to be doing a full video comparing all of them and letting you know which one I think is the best. Some might say this leans a bit feminine due to those raspberry notes. I don't personally feel that way. If you think the raspberry is too strong in this, I would just stay away from this DNA. I think it's a better option for you to go with an Angel Share dupe like Kismet Magic from Maison Alhambra, and it's only 20 bucks. At my number 3 spot, I have French Avenue's Thunder. Now this is a clone of Omnipresent Mr. Thompson from Penhaligon's. I have not smelt that fragrance, but I can say that the bottles look similar. They both have this like elephant head. This is one of the few times that the dupe presentation doesn't go more over the top compared to the original. They're both pretty over the top, but I still think it looks kind of cool. Now I do have a Penhaligon's Portraits Discovery set, but unfortunately the Omnipresent Mr. Thompson is not included in that set, so I'm strictly going by this fragrance on its own. Now this opens with bright aromatics and spices, but also with this strong iris note. Now, if you're not familiar with iris, it is described as like a makeup-y or lipsticky, more particularly lipsticky scent. Fragrances like Dior Homme are very iris dominant. This opens very iris heavy. As this dries down, it gets more creamy and powdery and woody. Man, this is an incredible fragrance. It smells niche. I mean, it is cloning a niche fragrance, so it makes sense. The opening is striking, and that dry down is smooth and calming. Looking at the notes, on top you get pink pepper, bergamot, lavender, and elemi. In the mid, you get geranium, vanilla, iris, and milk. And in the base, you get tonka bean, cedarwood, and vetiver. This is modern, it's sophisticated, woody, aromatic, definitely the best for the cooler months of the year, thinking fall, winter. This also can work as a dressed up fragrance. This will give you 8+ hours on skin. There's moderate projection, but these type of fragrances are not really designed to be monster projectors. This is meant to be more subdued, intimate. Now, even with all that praise, I want to make one thing really clear. This is not a blind buy safe fragrance. You need to like that lipsticky iris. This is a challenging note to some, especially when it takes center stage. And in this fragrance, it certainly does. I was not always the biggest fan of iris dominant fragrances, especially early in my fragrance journey, but I have developed an affinity for it as my tastes kind of have changed. At my number 2 spot, I have French Avenue's Fier Luna. Another crazy bottle. This is a clone of Xerjoff's Naxos. And I also have a discovery set of Xerjoff fragrances, and luckily Naxos is one of them. By the way, if you're wondering how I test a lot of my fragrances, I do it through a lot of discovery sets and decants. If you look back there, you see a bunch of them here, decants at the bottom. It's the way I can do it without going broke. And if I don't have a discovery set or a decant, I'll head to a Macy's, Sephora, Nordstrom's, Saks Fifth Avenue for some of the niche stuff to test it there. And sometimes with fragrances like Thunder, I just judge them on their own. This one is fresh, it's aromatic, and has this honeyed sweetness, but that's balanced with these dense, darker notes. And this gets incredibly close to the OG. I'm talking about like 90%. They smell almost identical. Unbelievable how close these clones are getting. Notes-wise, on top you have lavender, bergamot, and lemon. In the mid you get honey, cinnamon, cashmere, and jasmine. And in the base you get vanilla, tobacco leaf, and tonka bean. Just like the OG, this blend of fresh yet warm, sweet, and spicy notes is a perfect choice for fall and winter. I'm really glad almost all of these choices are fall and winter because that's where we're heading. But that fresh opening might work for breezy nights in the spring, but stay away in like really high heat. You're gonna get 8+ hours on skin with this one. Surprisingly strong projection in the first hour or two, especially for like a warm and sweet dominant fragrance. Usually projection isn't its main thing, but this one does it really well. This DNA is a unique take on gourmand. It mixes these gourmand notes with this bright opening and this creamy dark base. There's no fragrance that I would say is 100% blind buy safe, but this one is mass appealing and easy to wear. This is going to be a killer in the fall and winter, and that's Fier Luna. At my number 1 spot, I have Armaf's Ombre Dior. Now this is the latest release from Armaf. This is a clone of Crystal Saffron by Maitre Premier. I have never smelled that fragrance either, so I can't tell you how close it gets, but from everything I've read, it gets really close, and this thing is a 10 out of 10 for me. This one is also surprisingly fresh in its opening, but as it dries down, it does take on a different note, and that's saffron. Now, saffron is also a note that for some can be challenging, so if you don't like saffron, stay away. However, I don't think saffron is as divisive as iris, traditionally at least. Notes-wise, on top you're getting lime, musk. In the mid you get metallic notes, saffron, iris, and rose. And in the base you get incense, woody notes, and amber. I was surprised to see metallic notes in there, but I totally get it. That might scare some folks away, but it's not too prominent. It's used as an enhancer, not the star of the show. With its rich, dense notes of incense, amber, woods, and saffron, this fragrance is best worn, again, for the fall and the winter. Though the lime and metallic notes are surprisingly fresh, and you could possibly pull this off on cooler days in the spring, this is also quite versatile. I think you can dress it up, suit and tie, but you can also wear it more casually. This was also a monster performer. I got 8 to 10 hours on skin, long run clothes, very strong projection for those first couple of hours also. I can see this being a major part of my rotation in the cooler months. I love saffron as a note, and this one like heavily features it. And this is also another fragrance that's like niche quality, and you're paying about $40 for this. It's an amazing deal. It's really surprising, again, how these fragrance houses are able to give us fragrances like this at such an affordable rate. So there you have it, folks. 5 incredible releases from Armaf and French Avenue. Let me know in the comments if you've tried any of these and which one of these is your favorite if you have. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like and subscribe button. I try to make about 2 videos a week. I have some really fun ones coming up. And as always, stay tuned for more affordable fragrance content. Until next time, I'm out.